Here we have one cross tab imported in Excel file through IBM Cognos for Microsoft Office add-on. We will now see some options for this add-on. First, I will go here to connect and then on new connection. So when I click here, I will get this dialog. Here I can enter my connection URL, I can test my connection, and I can save it. But I will just click here on cancel. We can also refresh our connections and we can disconnect our connection. I will now click here on disconnect. Now I'm disconnected. So when I click again on this plus button, I will have to enter my credentials in order to establish connection. But I will close this, and instead of that we can go here to connect, and then we can click on the name of our connection. So I will click here. This is that friendly name, and then inside of this dialog I will click on continue. I can then type my password. I will click login, and again we are now connected. So we can see our folders. Next we will go here to this options button. Here we can see our connection. We can click on add, and then we can enter one more connection if we need it. I will just click on cancel. We can delete this connection or we can edit it. I will click on edit button and I will change this connection by adding some number. And I will save this. I will close this dialog, and then I will go to this second tab, and here we will notice that a link that is used for my cross tab is not updated. It is not updated automatically, but there is a solution for that. Let's assume that we have 100 of these cross tabs inside of this file, so manually changing all of these links would be really troublesome. So we will go here to options dialog, and first I will change back my URL to original state. So I will delete these numbers 1, 2, 3. I will click on save, and then we will go here to below. Here we have this button, update connection utility. If we select it, we can then choose one of the existing connections, and then we can change that URL with some other connection. I have only one connection, so I will change this URL with the same URL. It doesn't matter. I will click on OK, and then all of these links here that are using the old connection will be updated. So when I click on yes, everything will be updated. We can now refresh our data by using new URL. We can do that, and we can see that everything is working. Let us now go again to this option dialog to see some other options. We will go to this other tab, IBM Cognos for Microsoft Office, and here we will check this option, show information cards. We will click on OK, and then if we go here to this first tab, we can then hover over cross tab and we will get this card. But I will go back to options and I will uncheck that checkbox because I don't need those cards. Next, we will uncheck this other option, check for report updates on refresh data. So we will uncheck it and we will click on OK. Then we will go to our report in Cognos and we will make some structural changes. For example, I will add one more page. I will enter this page. Here I will create one list and I will enter one column inside of this list. And now I can save my changes. We will now go back to Excel and we will also delete some data. For example, I will delete this data here, and now I want to refresh my data. I want my data back. So we can right click here. That is, we can go to this second tab, we can right click here and we can choose refresh data. My data will now be refreshed, but if I click on this plus button, I will still see only page 1. There will be no page 2. So in order to get my page 2, I would have to right click here and then to choose refresh report structure. So if I do that now, I will get this dialog, and after clicking on yes, my page 2 will appear. But I will not do that. Instead of that, we can go here to options dialog, we can go to this other tab and we can enable this, check for report updates on refresh data. So I will check this, I will click on OK, and now it doesn't matter what option do I choose? Whether do I choose refresh data or refresh report structure, I will get that dialog and I will get my page 2. This time I will click on refresh data just to prove a point, so I will get this dialog, and this time I will click on yes and then on refresh data. Our data will be refreshed, but we will also get page 2. And this is all the consequence of the fact that this option here is checked.